In this video, I'm going to be building the best possible team right now in Season 7 of NBA 2K23. My team, let me know in the comment section down below your guys' best 10-man rotation or best 13-man rotation with every card of your choosing. You can choose all of the empty purchasable cards, like the Invincibles or T-Mac, like those type of cards, or free cards, lock-ins, any card in the game. Let me know your guys' best 10-man rotation or 13-man rotation right now in the game. But at the starting point guard position, I'm not sure if this is actually the best point guard in the game, but I think for this specific starting lineup, I do want to have the dark matter hero Nikola Jokic as our starting point guard. Now, do I think he's the best point guard in the game? I don't know. I think it's really close between him and Ben Simmons and even a couple other really good point guards, but I think for this specific lineup, I think he's going to be the best point guard to have next to my shooting guard and my small forward as well. But Nikola Jokic, a 6'11" point guard, 7'3" wingspan. He's got a great jump shot and is really good offensively. He's got the Eric Paschall base, the Oscar Robertson upper on very quick timing. He's also got the Curry size up, the John Wall escape, the Dame behind the back, the quick drops off one, front clutches, all around. The card's basically a perfect point guard, being 6'11" with a 7'3" wingspan. And I think next to my shooting guard, like I said, which is the invincible Tracy McGrady, I think these guys in the backcourt are going to be super dominant on the offensive end. And then I'll explain to my small forward spot, we're going to go for a little bit more defense. But yeah, T-Mac is probably one of the best cards in the game. He's 6'8" at the shooting guard position, 7'2" wingspan. We know he's an invincible card, so maxed out stats, 55 Hall of Fame badges. But the nice thing about T-Mac is he's got the best jump shot in my team, which is the KPJ base, the Oscar Robertson upper on very quick timing. I think right now is the best possible jump shot you can have. And then he also does have the normal fade. He's got the MJ dribble style, T-Mac size up, Curry escape, Dame behind the back. I mean, the card all around is one of the best cards in my team. But at the starting small forward position, this is where a lot of people will most likely disagree with my best starting five in the game, because I'm going with the new invincible Giannis. And the reason why, because I don't think he's the best small forward. I don't even know if he's the second best small forward in the game, but for the specific lineup, which is next to Jokic and next to T-Mac, we need a defender. Not like T-Mac and Jokic are bad defenders, but we need that lockdown, the guy that's gonna be able to guard, the 1 through 4, maybe even the 1 through 5 for most lineups. We need a guy that's gonna be that extremely athletic freak of nature, and that's Giannis, a guy that can fly around the court, guard the 1 through 4 at a super high level, be our lockdown. And that is invincible Giannis, a guy who's going to give you great size, being 6'11" at the 6'11" at the small forward position with a 7'4" wingspan. We know he's got one of the best player models in the game. He's going to be invincible, so you got a Giannis with a 97 3 ball, maxed out speed, maxed out defense, maxed out playmaking. He's going to have a total of 55 Hall of Fame badges. I know his jump shot didn't get updated, to a way better release. I know his dribble sigs aren't that crazy good, but he does have the Curry escape, which is going to really help him for him getting downhill. He's going to be really good at attacking the basket with the Curry escape, able to create a lot of space. His defensive tendencies are pretty much perfect. His inside finishing tendencies, like standing dunk, driving dunk, flashy dunk, alley-oop, are pretty much perfect. Like, this card, except for his jump shot, is basically the perfect small forward in the game. And once again, I don't think he's necessarily the best small forward. I'll talk about those two other small forwards here in a second, but I think next to T-Mac and next to Nikola Jokic, he's going to be the best small forward in the game for this starting lineup specifically, because at the power forward and center position, I think it's pretty obvious. You got to go Manute Bol, and then I do think you got to go Yao Ming. Now, I know a lot of people have said Rick Smith is better than Yao. I've seen that from a couple people, and I haven't tried out Rick Smith when I'm recording this video, so I want to try out that card first before I 100% say he's better than a card like Yao, because Yao, I mean, he's still Yao Ming, 7'6" with a 7'9" wingspan. And then yeah, talking about Manute Bol, I mean, it's very obvious that these guys are going to be in the front court. Manute Bol is still the best card in the game, 7'7", can play power forward, 8'5" wingspan, one of the best player models. And I think him and Giannis next to each other is going to be elite on defense. Both guys can cover the floor really well. They can cover so much ground. They're great at blocking shots, contesting shots, and they just have super good player models and animations. So I think these two cards next to each other, in kind of the wing forward position, I think is going to be elite next to our two scoring guards in T-Mac and Jokic, who are not bad defenders. They can still clamp up. Jokic has got that size to be able to guard, most positions in the game. So I think this lineup is going to be the perfect starting 5 in the game. Not the necessarily best card at each position, but I think put together is the best starting 5 in the game. But off the bench, there's so many great cards to go with. I think Ben Simmons might be even better than a card like Nikola Jokic. But then if we start him, yes, we got Tracy McGrady. We have a ton of offense, but I like to have that secondary ball handler, a guy that can score the ball. Yes, the offense is going through T-Mac 90-95% of the time, but if we need a bucket, that's why Jokic is going to be there. A guy that can really handle the ball if T-Mac does get tired. But off the bench, Ben Simmons, you'll see, is going to be an elite point guard next to our shooting guard and small forward off the bench because of the defense. He's going to be our Giannis on the bench. He's going to be our guy that flies around the court, has amazing defensive stats and badges. His animations are great. A guy that does everything super well and doesn't need to score the basketball to be super effective. And then next to our shooting guard and small forward, which is going to be Tim Thomas at the backup 2, a guy that's one of the best offensive cards in the game, just like Invincible T-Mac. 6'10" at the 2, 7'2" wingspan. We know offensively, like I said, he's going to be one of the best in the game. His jump shot super money with the LaMelo Ball base, the Trae Young upper on very quick timing. He's also got the Trae fade. He's got the best dribble 6 in the game with the Steve Francis size up, the Trae escape. He's got front clutches. I mean, the card all around is going to be one of the best scorers in the game, and I think he's going to be perfectly paired next alongside Ben Simmons. And then at the backup 3, who I think probably still is the best small forward in the game, and that's going to be the Dark Matter Hero Bull. Now, you can start him over Giannis if you wanted to, and I think that would be perfectly fine. You're not going to have that one lockdown. You're not going to have that guy that just runs around, block shots, contest shots, grabs rebounds, drives to the paint like a card like Giannis, but Bull is still great offensively, and I think is probably still the all-around best small forward. I just think him, next to Tim Thomas and Ben Simmons is a little bit better. Have him coming off the bench, and then Giannis is going to be super elite next to Tracy McGrady and Nikola Jokic. That's just the way me personally I would structure the lineup. If you want to start Bull, I mean, all these cards can basically do everything, so you don't have to put Giannis in the starting lineup. I just think for me, you don't want to have Giannis and Ben Simmons on the same court just because they both have kind of beta jump shots and aren't the best from the 3-point line. So I think you want to separate them. So either, Ben Simmons start, Bull, you could run this if you wanted to, or you could flip-flop it and go Jokic and Giannis, which in my opinion, I think is slightly better. But yeah, Bull, 7'2" at the small forward position, 7'7" wingspan, and he's just basically the perfect small forward in the game. There's not much to it. He does everything super well. He's got great dribble 6 with the Kyle Lowry size up, the Trae escape, Dame behind the back, quick drops off 1, his jump shot's pretty good, defensive tendencies are amazing for the contest and block shot, both out of 99. I think he's probably the best small forward in the game. And then at the backup 4 is going to be the card that will most likely be the backup 4 for a while for the best team in the game, and that's going to be the Pink Diamond Taco Fall. I know Artis Gilmore is really good, and I will put Artis Gilmore in these last 3 spots, but I think Taco still has to be the backup power forward just because of his size, being 7'6" with an 8'2" wingspan. Yes, he might not be the fastest, he probably doesn't have the best jump shot in the game, but he's still 7'6" with an 8'2" wingspan. And then off the bench at the backup center position to round off the best 10-man rotation currently in the game in my opinion, which is the Dark Matter and a free card, Rick Smith, the only free card to be in this 10-man rotation, which is super cool. And he's actually going to be a center that can compete with the Yao Mings, the Manute Bulls, the Taco Falls of the world because he's 7'4" with a 7'7" wingspan. He's got such a good player model in game. Like, he looks almost 7'5", in game. Like, he looks really tall. I did play him in clutch time, or it was triple hit offline or clutch time. I played him one time, and he's so dominant. Like, he just looks so tall in game. His player model is absolutely amazing, and then he also does have a capable jump shot. The thing I really like about our bench and even our starting lineup, the tallest card, or the shortest card I should say, on the bench is Tim Thomas, who's 6'10". T-Mac is the shortest card on the starting lineup, who's 6'8", and both these guys we know are some of the best offensive cards in my team, and the guys who are going to run the offense on the respective, lineup. T-Mac on the starting lineup and Tim Thomas off the bench. Now for the last 3 spots, I think Chet, he has to be in here somewhere. I think he might even be a better small forward than Giannis, but I do think Giannis is a much better defender because of his animations, his size, his player model. I think is a lot better for defense, and that's why he's going to be in there over Chet. If we're just going on talent, just on who's the best card, then Chet probably is slightly better than Giannis. Better jump shot, moves better offensively. But if you're looking for a defensive guy who's got great athleticism, an amazing player model, I think you go for that invincible Giannis. And then for the last two spots, I wanted to throw some new cards on here. Cards like Zion Williamson, just going to throw him in the lineup. He's really fun to use at small forward. Not sure if he's going to be that great against the tall giants like Giannis, Bol, Chet, but I think he'll be a really fun small forward to use in game. And then I also want to throw out a very underrated card. At least I haven't seen too many people talking about Artis Gilmore. I think he's actually going to be on that Rick Smith and potentially could play over Taco Fall if you don't really need that 7'6" card, because he's going to have a lot more speed than Taco. He's going to be just as good defensively. He's got maybe even a better jump shot, a higher 3-ball. I mean, he's got more Hall of Fame defensive badges, more Hoff badges in general. Like, Artis Gilmore is going to be an amazing big to have in this squad as well. But in my opinion, guys, this is the best 13-man rotation you can build right now in my team. Let me know in the comment section down below. Like I said earlier, though, what do you guys think about my lineup? And let me know your guys's, 10-man rotation, 13-man rotation, if you have every card to choose from in my team. But hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.